Welcome to the Key to All of This with Tim, whichever side you're on, and Dylan. Today we're going to talk about a movie that we absolutely would love to see, and that is Solo 2. I know a lot of people kind of crapped all over Solo 1, but from my experience with it, the only people who ever crapped on Solo 1 were people who didn't see it.
Yeah, I found a surprising lot of people were like, wasn't that bad? And then I'm like, didn't you see it? And they're like, no, I really didn't. I thought it was going to be bad. I'm like, Ron Howard directed this. Mm-hmm. You know, did you like Apollo 13? Then you're going to at least like this as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you like all of the intros to Arrested Development?
Do you love his narration skills? He's narrating a script visually on screen.
Have you had 0 happy days? Richie Cunningham?
Well, happy days are here again.
These days are ours.
I thought it was... That's something that like Kylo Ren would say. These days are ours.
More days. More days.
More days. I thought it was great. And it was a really good... You know, sometimes origin stories tend to like not really have as strong a plot, but
yeah,
they really like. I was rooting for them for the beginning, and all the kind of fan service moments of the film. Didn't feel too overly planned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a movie that we didn't need, and I think that's why people hated on it so much. And then we got it. You and I saw it together because you and I have seen basically every Star Wars together in theater since 2015. And it was just a great little side story.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought that, seeing the Kessel Run happen was seeing a big part of his past. And that's the thing about Han Solo is he has so much like history that's alluded to right from the very beginning that has kept fans guessing for a long time. And the really only way you can capitalize and surpass fan expectations is to show it in one of the best written Star Wars films. I think like it was Lawrence Kasdan and his son who co-wrote the script for that, and it's really apparent that they really loved the character, and it felt very much like it didn't just feel like grizzled Han Solo. It felt like Han Solo, who is a little more optimistic and bright-eyed in the world.
Yeah, it was really interesting, and with that, I wanted to say like, I feel like the casting of it was great. I liked all the new characters that they brought in, like Woody Harrelson and Jon Favreau's character. It was like really awesome seeing it was just a Western. A Western. They're like trying to hijack a train.
It felt very like great. A heist movie. Han Solo is all about pulling off one more heist, and I think that. Seeing Lando in it, finding out how the Millennium Falcon changed hands from Lando to Han, changed Hans.
Lando to Han.
Yeah, my Honda Accord. It's a joke that has no purpose.
I'm going to bleep that out.
You better. Better just bleep out everything I say. I'm getting angry. No. So to see Lando lose the Falcon to Han was such a great moment, and I still want to know how Sabacc is being played because it looks like there's no particular. It's like the Cones of Dunshire from Parks and Rec. Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's a clear. You forget it's about the cones. You don't really know what's going on.
You do forget it's about the cones, but also it's a lot like the card game that Frankenstein played in Big Daddy. I win.
I don't remember.
Frankenstein was his son.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it was Julian.
That is a blast from the past. I haven't heard the word Big Daddy used in that phrase in a long time.
Well, essentially, the kid plays this game I Win with Rob Schneider's character. and they
Yeah.
just flip over the cards, and he's like, "I
yes.
win.
Like,
You win every time."
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember this game now. I only remember Rob Schneider losing. So I'm sorry, Rob Schneider.
He wasn't happy about it.
It was not. He was like, he was late night calls to Sandler. I want to win. Let me just win once.
Give me one movie.
And he just closes the flip phone, throws it away. Yeah, no, I thought that if they could have a Sabak training course, I would pay. I would pay for that masterclass.
I mean, there's got to be rhyme and reason to it. I remember in the Knights of the Old Republic game, you could play it, but I don't remember how it worked. I think it was like, it's like one of the side stories where, is this something I really want to know? But now I guess I kind of do.
You should have said yes in the moment, and I'm off.
There's R2 again, bleeping you.
Yeah, I think that, Solo is such a great film because they didn't cross off everything on the I need to know how this happened in Han Solo's personal biography, which I think would be perfect to set up the doors to a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that they told us that I didn't expect to see is like, why does Lando love the Millennium Falcon so much? And it's because his former lover, L337, is part of it in like her navigational system, and essentially her personality is built into the ship. And he hasn't seen it in 10 years.
Yeah. And honestly, C-3PO has that moment in Empire Strikes Back about the peculiar type of almost accent the Millennium Falcon has when talking to it. So I just imagine Phoebe Waller-Bridge trapped inside the Millennium Falcon, for 30 years.
And the only one she can talk to is C-3PO.
I know. Oh, poor L337.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool moment. I think seeing why Han owes Jabba the Hutt so much money, that could be a great prequel sequel for Solo 2. I think that this is so much you can mine from.
Yeah, I agree. And we haven't even gotten to the Darth Maul part. I mean, Han Solo was never like a player like he is now. You know him as like, a hit and run kind of guy, meet a girl, whatever, dirty smuggler.
He commits hits and runs.
I mean,
he runs over pedestrians and
women.
and the children too. And he just runs them over and he walks away.
Mm-hmm. He has sex with them first. Consensual sex with them first. But also we see him as like this like playboy in A New Hope. What was it? Maybe 6 years before A New Hope, before we meet him at Jabba's palace. This is when Solo takes place. So he's just in love with Kira. He meets Chewbacca. And in that scene where he meets Chewbacca on Mimban, I had no idea that he was being tossed in with Chewbacca. Like, it didn't cross my mind once that, the beast is hungry or whatever. It's like, didn't know until he stepped out and he was at this big muddy carpet. I knew we were going to see how Han and Chewie met, but I didn't know that it was at that moment that we were going to see it.
Yeah, and I think that if they wanted to follow the Darth Maul running, Crimson Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to follow Maul's rise and ascent and dominion over Crimson Dawn, the next film could take place just after Maul's death, and seeing now that he's not running it, like maybe the Hutts come into it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how he starts working exclusively for Jabba, and maybe he meets Greedo. I'd love to see some frenemy action from Han and Greedo before years before
Han shoots second.
Han nukes him. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we got to review that criminal evidence against Han
we'll
Solo.
put it up on the screen, and then we'll have our little white marker, like a football game of how things work.
Yeah.
Compare the footage and do the instant replay. But yeah,
do the math.
There's a lot that you can do with Solo 2. I mean, even if Solo 2 was a complete story on Emphas Nest and her squad, it's like Emphas Nest is the beginning of the rebellion. She's like trying to prevent the Empire from like doing anything. She wants the coaxium and all that stuff, and I think her character is like just incredible. How cool did she look?
She looked awesome, and she was a great twist. I think the movie went above and beyond just doing the whole origin story thing by giving a great motivated character that was also kind of a surprise that, she was the, not the villain that they had been told from the beginning that Emphas Nest was.
Yeah. Yeah, and also part of Emphas Nest group is Warwick Davis's character from episode 1.
Yes.
Boonta Eve Classic.
He really has come a long way. I mean, we talked about it last week with Sebulba coming along. And now we see Warwick Davis from before our very eyes transform from like a kind of lawless, kind of Jabba the Hutt's associate to a rebel fighter who kind of starts a rebellion.
And then with Solo 2, I would be fine with not introducing any other characters that we're already familiar with. So no Luke, no Leia, no Bail Organa.
Bail Organa.
Keep the cameos if it's not going to happen. But if it were to happen, I want to keep the cameos small and build onto this one last story where it does. Well, Greedo, exception with Greedo and the Hutts and stuff. These other minor characters, but no other main characters. I want to see it move into. I mean, we had a cliffhanger at the end of like, okay, Kira's gone. Darth Maul is still alive. For anyone who doesn't watch the comic watch the comic books. Anyone who doesn't watch the animated series or read the comic books, they all think Maul's dead. So how's Maul showing up? So that's a cliffhanger in film. How's Maul back? How's any of this happening? So I also would love to see Maul and Han face to face and see what Crimson Dawn actually wants. Like, what do they need Kira for? And what was... I mean, I would have loved a further backstory on Dryden Voss, but he did.
I know. Rest in peace, Dryden. I think that he could easily butt heads against Kira in the sequel, now that she's kind of risen through the ranks. And, maybe seeing them at odds between him working for Jabba the Hutt and her working for Darth Maul. I feel like there's clearly some tension between the two, warlord to warlord. And, I'd love to see Jabba's palace in its heyday, Salacious B. Crumb, maybe he's in the lobby with a resume trying to apply for a job.
Do you know what the B stands for?
I assume Buster? No, I don't know what it stands for.
Brenda?
I'm
just kidding.
Is that it, really?
No, I'm just messing with you.
You're going to have to bleep that out.
Yeah, but that's what I want. Like, don't bring us a lot of like the main characters from the other shows or movies, but give us a storyline that bridges the gap between Han Solo. Why do we meet Han Solo sitting in Jabba's palace in episode 4? That's where I want it to end. I want the cliffhanger to end with Han Solo's at Jabba's palace.
Gotcha.
Or Mos Eisley.
Or you meet Han Solo at
Mos Eisley Cantina. Yep.
Yeah. No, that'd be great to see him. Like, why is he drinking there?
Yeah,
what
just
happened?
Have the cliffhanger end with he owes Jabba money. People are starting to be after him. I'm heading to Mos Eisley.
Oh, I need a hard drink.
Yeah. No droids.
No droids. I need my own oil.
Is he a pirate? Irish pirate?
Yeah. You're being redundant by saying Irish and pirate.
I didn't kill her.
I didn't kill my wife. That's okay, right? It's an okay impression.
It's okay that he didn't kill his wife. You're right. But I think that would be. I think we've kind of. Well, yeah, I think it's okay that you're the way you are, Tim.
Thank you. I was born this way. Yeah, so I think that it'd be fun to like get maybe the immediate prequel. I mean, they have the facial technology to do that kind of stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, they had it in 2016 when they had the little nose actor playing Harrison Ford, who has a very distinct nose.
Oh yeah.
We're not supposed to. We're supposed to be a very positive podcast. But my only gripe with that film is that he just didn't look like Han Solo, and that's unfortunate because the second it was released, people went ahead and digitized, Harrison Ford's face on it, no problem. So yeah, I would like to see that.
Worked out great, It really did. Well, the digitizing of the deep faking of it, like I think it's just Solo 2 is perfect for deep fake. So yeah, I would love to see how maybe he drops the cargo at the sign of Imperial entanglement that they mentioned in Episode 4. I'd love to see that. Maybe I was going too far back in terms of what I want to see. Maybe you're right. It's the immediate, like what happened right before Episode 4. What is the Rogue One Solo story?
I mean, I think it's easy enough to end it. So let's say we've got 5 or 6 years between the two, between Solo and A New Hope. Put me at that year 3. He's tracking down Kira, which is fine. He and Chewie are taking on jobs, and so we kind of have a more mature Han, who's still extremely immature. He's immature through every rest of his existence. But you get a more mature Han, but also he's building up to his bigger troubles, which are with Jabba the Hutt and Boba Fett and Greedo and all the other bounty hunters.
Yeah. I think like in between, like do a Thor Ragnarok version of where Han is right now.
I would love that. All right, so thanks for checking this out, and join us next week when we talk about the Battle of Hoth.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you.